This is the Turnigy two-wheel drive brushless desert buggy. This is the box that it comes in. There are no fancy multicolor pictures on the box or any artwork other than just the three colors here. Real basic. I guess that's a good thing, just to cut cost or marketing cost, to keep the cost of the vehicle down. Another thing that the Hobby King did to save, and as you can see inside the box here, the labeling, they actually put the box inside out, and I went ahead and cut the box and reshaped it back to its outer shape, but they did that in order to cut down on the costs for shipping, which is a good thing for the consumers. I went ahead and removed all the plastic shrink wrap that was inside, but this is basically what the car looks like when it comes out. You've got these little styrofoam blocks, the car itself, and then I ordered some spare parts here that they also threw in. Comes with a little foam spacer and some body clips, antenna tube, and the instructions themselves. The owner's manual is really basic. It does have an exploded parts view, and it does have a listing of all the upgrade options, as well as all of the spare parts that are available for the car. At the time of this video recording, not all spare parts are available from Hobby King yet, but it does appear to be that there will be a full part support relatively soon. They don't give detailed instructions on how to make repairs, but they do provide some blowout pictures within the diagram. The instruction manual is halfway decent, so it's okay. They also did not install any decals, so you have the option to install these if not, which is pretty nice setup there. The stock tires seem to be pretty nice, hard compound. The foams that are inside the tires are extremely hard. It almost feels as if the foam is made out of rubber inside there. I also noticed that the foam doesn't come all the way to the edge of the tire, and there's a bit of a gap there. But the tread pattern seems to be pretty impressive. I can't wait to try this out and see how well it holds up. Looks like these tires will last a long time based on how hard the compound is. One thing that I'm not particularly impressed with on these tires, or excuse me, the wheels, is that there's a lot of flex to these wheels. It doesn't take very much to make these wheels shape. And a couple of these wheels, if you spin it, I'm going to try to show this here, but they kind of spin a little wobbly, which doesn't look very impressive to me, at least for not out of the box. It does have full bearings in here. The setup looks very similar to the, if not almost a copy of, the Kyosho Ultima. The shocks, though, however, are very different, and they do seem to be a little bit better shocks that come with the Kyosho version. The dampening rate in here is a little stiff. For my liking, but we'll have to give this a try out of the box. I suspect that the setup for this suspension is probably best for on-road as opposed to off-road, so we'll have to try both out and see how it goes. When removing the body, it's a little awkward. It pops off, fits very tight and snug, but then it has this mechanism where it latches to the rear brace on the body mount. You can see here it does come with a 3300 kilovolt brushless motor. It's a full 3650 can, so that should be a pretty decent setup. And of course it also comes with a 35 amp speed control, which should work well for 2-cell. Not really sure if it can handle a 3-cell. Probably would not test fate on that, just stick with the 2-cell, and really there's only room for a 2-cell to fit comfortably in the battery tray. It does come with these HT or XT60 connectors. Probably be removing those and putting some Deans on before I can test drive this car out. It does come with a servo, which is kind of nice. Looks like a real basic servo, nothing fancy there. The battery tray is almost identical to the Kyosho. However, the chassis looks very different to me. It may have the same overall shape of the Kyosho, but it has different lines in here and different sidebars which are bolted on with Phillips head screws. In fact, when I looked throughout the whole vehicle, it is 100% Phillips head hardware pretty much everywhere throughout. Which may or may not be a good thing depending on what kind of tools you like to use. I also will have to wonder if the side Nerf bar is a part to be replaced, maybe if they might release a short course truck version of this car at a later date. Some other things that they do a little differently is I see some ball cups that are used on the bottom of the suspension, which is a little different than how Kyosho does their setup. Everything else looks very similar to Kyosho as far as the front. There's a little metal hinge brace there on the bottom side. It does use captured pins on the back. The suspension, rear suspension linkages, everything looks pretty darn close or near identical to the way Kyosho does it. Even the transmission gearbox looks the same. Dog bones, everything looks almost identical to how Kyosho is done, other than just the different electronics, different suspension, different wheels and tires and chassis. But all the other parts, as far as the arms, linkages, bumpers, those objects look the same, and maybe even the axles and whatnot. They all look to be about the same. It appears that the smaller banana connectors are used for the motor leads, which I believe is the same size or they're used on most of the Reedy style. The speed control is actually mounted on top of the battery tray. There really is no room to mount the speed control anywhere else inside the chassis. They've seemed to have taken up all the space on the chassis here in order to mount something, unless you were to come up with your own sort of mounting system. But this seems to work okay. The only drawback with the speed control being mounted on top of the battery tray is that when the lid comes down on the body lid, there's, as you can see, there's a flat spot here, and you can see that it's already rubbing on the speed control here. So probably a good idea to maybe cut an opening out on the body here to be able to get some breathing room for that speed control, because there is actually a fan on there, and there won't be any airflow for the speed control the way the stock body is set up for it.